What's up, guys? I'm back here with another video. I do apologize. The presentation's way different than usual videos with college football picks, but I figure I'd go ahead and just quickly do my Week 13 rivalry week picks here for you guys. Apologies, coming pretty late. I honestly wasn't really going to do a video for this week because my picks the last few weeks just haven't been really that good. I've been trying to make these picks really good for you guys and just isn't following through. But you know what? We're not going to quit now. Why now? Why quit now? So let's keep going. I will have my conference championship picks later this upcoming week, probably in the middle of the week. I'll have them for you guys because we're rolling around there. This is the final week also of the final regular season week of the Pac-12, so that's crazy too. But let's get straight into it, guys. Number 13, Oklahoma versus TCU. OU favored 11.5 at home. I feel like Oklahoma covers here, but then again, it's a really weird spread. TCU's been playing better lately. Oklahoma was favored over 20 points against BYU, and they only won by 7. Kind of a strange one there. I like Oklahoma to win, most likely by double digits, but we'll see. Not sure about that one. It's tough. We have Nebraska versus number 17, Iowa. I'm actually going to take Nebraska here to win. I was originally taking Iowa, but you know what? At this point, Nebraska, one win away from being bowl eligible. I really think they fight hard for this one. The Iowa offense has been terrible for a lot of the year. They did shut out Rutgers recently, but Iowa on the road here, this is a tough environment for them. I really think Nebraska's going to take this one, although analytics like Iowa a little bit better. Nebraska is the favorite in that one. Next up, we have number 23, Tulane, hosting UTSA, and I'm actually feeling the upset here kind of in a way. Well, we're going to take it. Tulane's been on the fringe of losing the last few weeks with the exception of last week, and honestly, they're really teetering on a loss. They're long overdue for a loss at this point. Should be a close one at 3:30 later today. Next up, we have Arkansas versus number 9, Missouri. I like Missouri to win, but Arkansas, honestly, to cover. I think this is going to be a closer game than some people think. Missouri's got a really good offense, but Arkansas, this rivalry, Arkansas had a really underwhelming season. I think this Arkansas team's coming to play today. Sam Pittman, I'm not sure if he's going to still be coaching for this team, but Arkansas really needs to figure things out in the offseason because they're going to have a long one, likely losing Jefferson, I'm assuming, as well, especially. Next up, number 7, Texas versus Texas Tech, and I got a really weird feeling that Texas Tech's going to cover the spread here. Texas's offense has really been kind of pedestrian at times since years has been back. I don't know. You never know. Now this third week back, you never know. Texas could light it up on the field, very well so. There's a good chance of that. There's also a chance that Texas kind of comes out really slow. You got to think about, though, last week they were on the road against a tough defense in Iowa State, and they pulled away in the second half. That could very well happen here, too, against Texas Tech, but this Texas Tech offense has been, honestly, not been too bad in the last few weeks. We'll see. Tricky one there. Michigan State, Penn State, I don't really know how many people are really watching this game. This game really doesn't mean anything at this point. Penn State will probably coast to a win here, 22, though. I'm not sure they're going to cover that. Probably one of those where they barely cover, they barely not cover. Then we have the Civil War rivalry game between number 6 Oregon versus 16 Oregon State. The last one that really means something in the rivalry, I guess you could say so. And I'm going to tell you Oregon will probably cover this one, but this is a tricky one. Oregon State with the heartbreaking loss against Washington. Honestly, Oregon State would have lost by double digits last week had Johnson not fumbled near the end zone last week. I think it was in the third quarter, but no matter what, though, Oregon, has been on a tear offensively lately. Bo Nix has been lighting it up. I think he's currently the favorite to win the Heisman for sure. But Oregon State definitely could play spoiler. This could be close. We'll see. I'm not really sure about the 14 there. I'm not really sure if I can trust that line. Ole Miss, of course, just beat Mississippi State, too, in the Egg Bowl last night. I was thinking Ole Miss would win that one, but Mississippi State to cover. Next up, the big game of the week, the biggest game of the year, number 3, Michigan versus number 2, Ohio State. And you know what? I'm actually taking Ohio State in upset here. I do not trust Michigan in this spot right now. Michigan really struggled against Maryland. I know it was on the road, but McCarthy really is not impressing me too much down in these bigger games. It's been more of the run game, I would say. That's really helped Michigan here. But Ohio State, when they went on the road against Notre Dame, I know this was way earlier in the season, when they went on the road in that hostile environment, Ohio State actually won outright in that game. Don't forget that. So I think under a pressure situation, I'm actually going to go Ohio State. I was thinking Michigan, but you know what? I really think Michigan's beatable, and Ohio State, I think, can do it. And the loser of this game, in my opinion, should be completely out of the playoff picture, no question about it. The winner of this game is going to the Big Ten Championship. Next up, we have number 10, Louisville versus Kentucky, and I like Louisville to win and cover. No explanation needed, really. Kentucky's offense is terrible, and Louisville is getting in the ACC championship. This is their best season in years. This could be a blowout, most likely. Next up, we have number 14, LSU versus Texas A&M. And I'm not sure if I could trust LSU laying 11.5 points, even though Jaden Daniels has been playing out of his mind. He's like racking up touchdowns like it's nothing. But A&M, I don't know what to think. No Jimbo Fisher now. Texas A&M has nothing to lose. Neither of these teams really have nothing to lose. I mean, one team gets closer to a New Year's Six Bowl or whatever. I doubt they're going to both be in one, especially Texas A&M. But give me LSU. I'm not sure about the 11.5 there. It's a tricky line. Next up, we have the Iron Bowl. Auburn versus number 8 Alabama, and I got a weird feeling Auburn comes to play in this game and covers the 13. I'm not sure. Auburn had that absolutely atrocious loss last week to New Mexico State. That was one of the worst losses I've seen a Power 5 team take in some time. But Alabama, they're on a roll right now. They're in the SEC Championship. Could be a look-ahead spot to Georgia, but I like Alabama to win this game still by at least 10-14 roughly. But again, I think Auburn will likely cover here. Then we have Arizona State, Arizona. No question, Arizona wins and covers. Let's talk about I don't want to talk about the other ones. Those are kind of more obvious ones, I would say, but then again, maybe not. Oh, number 4, Washington versus Washington State, the Apple Cup. I like Washington to win here. They might not cover this one, actually. You could see Washington State. We could see Washington State play a bit better than some people think, but I mean, they went on a tailspin after they started the year like 3-4, 3-0, 4-0, or whatever it was. So, but Washington really fighting for the playoff spot. They're going to have a tough challenge in the Pac-12 title game, I'll tell you that right now, no matter who they face. Florida versus number 5 Florida State, and I mean, it's really sad that Jordan Travis went out with the injury like that. I still like Florida State in this spot, but if Graham Mertz is playing for Florida, I probably would take Florida in the upset, but I think Florida State wins, but I think Florida covers. This could be probably a field goal game either way. Really scary one for Florida State here. They got to win out to make the playoff. Stanford versus Notre Dame. Obviously, Notre Dame's going to smash Stanford. There's no question about it. One of the last games I want to talk about here is South Carolina versus number 24 Clemson. Some people are really on the South Carolina train because they want to become bowl eligible, and South Carolina is one win away from being bowl eligible, but I'm just not seeing it, man. South Carolina's offensive line is really porous. I like Clemson to absolutely win this game. Might cover as well. South Carolina's offensive line is absolutely terrible, and I think the Clemson defense is going to be able to get after Spencer Rattler. I don't think South Carolina's going to win this game. This is a revenge spot from last year, too, where South Carolina dropped 14 straight near the end to win and stun Clemson at home at their place, 31-30 last year. So Clemson en route for revenge in this spot. Next up, we have number 19 Kansas State versus Iowa State, and I guess I'm going to go with Kansas State. I don't even know who to pick here. I really don't, because this is a tricky spot here. Kansas State, though, one of those seasons where, they could have made more things happen, but who even knows at this point. Then we have number 22, NC State versus North Carolina. A lot of people are picking NC State. You know what? I'm right there with them, too. I like NC State to upset North Carolina. This one, North Carolina, the Tar Heels are kind of going downhill, almost as similar as last year, except, I don't know, there's not much of a difference, honestly. They were, especially near the end of last year, riding high, and boom, they collapsed in the last few weeks of the season. I think that happens here. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your guys' weekend overall. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving, and I hope you guys are also looking forward to some Survivor Series and NFL Sunday. And also, don't forget, first ever Black Friday game at 3 p.m. today between the Jets and Dolphins. Take care, everyone. I'll see you guys again soon.